Happy New Year, AFA members. We are starting the year off right with the addition of Silver Airways flight attendants to our AFA family. In only a few weeks' time, flight attendants at this Fort Lauderdale-based airline gathered enough authorization cards for AFA to file for an election and then turn out an overwhelming vote for AFA. Our flight attendant voice grows stronger and bargaining for their first contract begins. And congratulations to Alaska Airlines flight attendants for ratification of a new contract that puts more money in flight attendants' pockets, lifts industry standards, and sets the clock towards the next contract negotiations. Negotiations are all about timing and leverage. It takes two parties to reach an agreement, and it seems that the time is finally ripe for an agreement at United Airlines. In an effort to compete, United management must conclude the merger and put the operation together. Now is the time to maximize this leverage for a contract that flight attendants can ratify. Now is the time to capitalize on the pressure to compete. Working together, we will make the most out of the conditions in the industry for the benefit of every flight attendant. Now is the time to leverage the power of the collective by demonstrating our unity. We will do better together. Experience shows us that flight attendants speaking out together can make a difference. U.S. Airways flight attendants fought to ensure the American bankruptcy was not the definition of their future at American. They stood together, preserved the value of their contract, and pressed American management for more. American management's absolute refusal to provide profit sharing garnered sharp criticism from flight attendant masses on the front lines, and within weeks the CEO announced a 4% raise on top of the new contract. That is the power of the collective, and AFA leaders at American's wholly owned airlines Envoy, Piedmont, and PSA immediately called for American to do the right thing by including flight attendants who serve the same passengers and contribute to the same airline success. As long as one flight attendant is treated differently, the standard for all flight attendants is in jeopardy. We must bridge the gap between mainline and regional contracts. All flight attendants are certified safety professionals. We fought hard for recognition by TSA into the known crew member program, and our arguments were successful in 2012 when all flight attendants became qualified for alternate screening. Individual airlines, Spirit, Omni, Miami Air, and Mesa have yet to support their flight attendants, but the pressure will grow on these airlines, and together we will keep up the pressure until all airlines support the program. This week, KCM has expanded to include badged crew members who are not in uniform, which demonstrates our trusted status at all times, because uniforms have nothing to do with our constant vigilance as aviation's first responders and the last line of defense. This year, Congress will take up work on the FAA Reauthorization bill. In the coming weeks, expect to hear a lot more about what we seek to achieve and what we must stand together to guard against, especially as we work to protect our rights to collectively bargain. Our work in Washington is never done, and even now our safety experts are working with agencies to promote the best policy changes and guidelines following our experience during the threat of the Ebola virus. Flight attendants need support, information, tools, and training, and we continue our detailed and expert work to achieve results that improve our safety, health, and work as first responders. The year 2014 closed a chapter in aviation history on December 28th, when the last AirTran flight landed in Tampa, with AFA-MEC President Travis Bruce as a working flight attendant. From ValueJet to AirTran, this extraordinary group of flight attendants fought for a voice with AFA. They were instrumental in strengthening our advocacy for improved aviation safety and mobilizing to build one contract on top of many others to push our careers forward. Their story and strong mobilization were a part of helping us achieve whistleblower protections, which is a critical component in maintaining the safest aviation system in the world. And it matters as we support 13 flight attendants from United who were wrongfully terminated for expressing the need to confirm their security and that of the 300 passengers in their care. Our work is connected, and once a part of our AFA family, always a part of us. We will continue to work together to improve our careers and promote safety standards, and our bond with TWU members at Southwest is that much stronger through our shared experience with the extraordinary flight attendants from AirTran. There is not a flight attendant in the industry who didn't grieve the tragic loss of AirAsia Flight 8501 and extend our thoughts and prayers for the crew, passengers, and their family members. Our work as aviation's first responders and the heart we share as flight attendants bonds us together. Regardless of the name of the airline, the color of our uniforms, or the corporate culture we endure, we are all flight attendants. None of us seeks the opportunity to be a hero, but we are always prepared to save lives. On December 20th, 2008, the crew of Continental Flight 1404 safely evacuated all 110 passengers from their burning aircraft, following the worst crash ever experienced at Denver International Airport. Al Felipe, Pam Howard, and Regina Reisler put the safety of the passengers first as the aircraft burned around them. AFA's Facebook page went crazy with activity this year when we reminded members about their heroism. Fellow United flight attendants expressed joy for their recognition, and crews around the world thanked them for demonstrating so expertly what we do. Flight attendants throughout our union step up when there is a need. Flight attendants who care deeply about their flying partners and our careers step forward to serve in AFA leadership or do expert work on AFA committees. These are our flying partners, giving back to each of us. And even as we hold our leaders accountable for the best representation, we also give them our full support to defend and advance our contracts. This is the power of collective bargaining. Our union is democratic, and every voice counts. We honor discussion and debate because it makes us better. We listen to all, consider all of our options, and then through our structure of our union, we speak with one voice to advance our priorities together. As flight attendants, we have so much more in common than that which could ever divide us. Our AFA pin is a symbol of the pride we take in our profession and the bond we share as flight attendants. Wear your pin with pride and demonstrate our commitment to each other on every airplane and at every negotiating table. Flight attendants belong together. We are stronger together. We are better together. Thank you, and fly safe.